Let's say you are doing raw food. Even if all you did was go to the grocery store and eat and pick food from the produce section, fruits, vegetables, greens, all this stuff. Let's say you were being as good as you could, and that's all you did was eat fresh fruits, vegetables, and greens, nuts and seeds and things like that from the produce section in the grocery store, and that's all you did. And you still started having problems. I told you, you're still gonna have problems. Why? Because most of that food is grown in farm soil that's been depleted of nutrients over 100 years ago. All they put back in the soil is NPK, nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. That's all they put back in the soil. But there's hundreds of things that the soil needs. If you don't turn the soil over with decayed matter and fertilize it properly the way nature intended, you're not gonna get the nutrients in the food that you need. So first of all, the farm soil is basically depleted. Farmers are making almost no money nowadays. They have no money, so they're forced to do things as cheap as possible, and they don't put the nutrients back in the soil that they're supposed to. There's a war going on, people paying a penny per 100 pounds of potatoes or whatever it is, because farmers are just so bad off. So anyway, the point is you're not getting the nutrients out of the soil. The plants that you're eating are not formed with the proper nutrients. Secondly, they pick these things unripe and they ship them across the country. Most plants do not get vitamins and the nutrients until the last minute when they're ripe. There's a reason for that. The plants do not want you to eat them until they are ready to be eaten. Birds don't eat fruit until it's ripe. There's anti-nutrients in the fruit that are actually bad for you if you eat them before they're ripe. Well, almost all fruit that you pick that you get at the store or anything in the store was picked unripe. Third thing is moisture is an oxidant. They pick these things and then they truck them across the country and they put them in warehouses, and then by the time you get it at the grocery store, it's already been picked like a week or two. Now, I made another video that I'm sure a lot of you have missed or don't remember, and that is moisture is an oxidant. If you were to pick an orange off of a tree and eat it, you'd get the nutrition, and it was grown in proper soil and stuff, and it was picked ripe, then yeah, you'd be getting the proper nutrition. But the minute you pick something, it starts losing vitamins. Within 1 hour, half the vitamins are usually gone. Why? Oxidation. Water is an oxidant. It's one of the most powerful oxidants. And juice that's in the fruit, the stuff that we love, that juicy part of the fruit, starts oxidizing the vitamins. There was some university studies that tested oranges being sold in a grocery store and found they had no vitamin C left in them whatsoever. And part of the reason for that, other than the fact that they're grown in weak soil, is that they were picked a week or two ago, and as they were being trucked across the country and they were sitting on the shelf in the store, the moisture in that fruit was actually oxidizing the vitamins away. Most of the food that people eat, the stuff that they think is fresh fruit and vegetables, it's not really fresh fruit and vegetables. They're gonna be lacking something. That's huge. That's a big factor. You need to supplement in order to fill in the blanks of what's been lost. Now, this is where a lot of the naysayers go, see, vegans need to supplement. Therefore, veganism is not the way to go because there's lacking in there. No, if you were eating the way nature intended, walking up to a tree, plucking it and eating it right away, you would not be lacking anything. If you pull a carrot out of the ground, it's got dirt on it, that's B12. You've got B12, you've got organisms. B12 is bacteria poop. In nature, you pick something out of the ground or off a tree, it's full of bacteria. You eat that, you're getting your B12. You don't have to kill animals to have B12. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of meat eaters out there who are B12 deficient. It's all over the internet, all right? They're no better or worse either way. And the ones that do eat meat that get B12, they're eating dirty, filthy meat that's contaminated with all kinds of bacteria. It's not the meat, it's the bacteria in the meat that's giving you the B12. But you can get the same thing from plants. You know, okay, if you're so worried about B12, then take a B12 pill, whatever, okay? But the point is that if you were living in nature, eating the way nature intended, just plucking a thing off a plant or a tree, you would be getting all the nutrition you need being a vegan. If somebody could pick that fruit and immediately freeze dry it or powder it, dry it in a dehydrator at low temperatures, that locks in the vitamins for up to 5 years. A dried and powdered orange, the nutrients, the vitamins, most of the vitamins will last up to 5 years, as opposed to a whole fruit that's being trucked across the country that's wet, that's got moisture in it. What's the difference between wild foods and organic foods? Organic foods is usually grown in farm soil that's been used for the last 100 years, and there's very little nutrition left in that soil. And those farms are usually watered by municipal water, which usually has fluoride and chlorine in it, two of the most toxic substances known to man. And the plants are wimpy because they know they're going to get watered every day, so they don't have to try very hard to live. Their roots don't go very deep. Whereas wild plants, those weeds that grow in your sidewalk, they don't get watered every day. They have to survive. They're very tough. They grow roots sometimes literally hundreds of feet deep. Not just to get water. The more I learn about weeds, the more fascinated I am by them. Wherever man goes, weeds follow. What is the purpose of weeds? Well, wherever man goes, he messes up the soil. He compacts it, puts cement on it, he just destroys it. Weeds are like the commandos of the plant world. They come in wherever there's distressed soil. The first thing they do is they start spreading roots out everywhere. The top layer of roots starts breaking up the topsoil, and then they drop this really long, deep taproot, which goes literally hundreds of feet down into the ground and starts sucking up all that nutrition from deep, deep, deep in the ground, which fills the plant with saponins, sterols, alkaloids, glycosides, resins, minerals, trace minerals, and vitamins, and brings it all up to the top and starts spreading it out into the topsoil that is breaking up, which starts regenerating the topsoil. And the plant itself is super rich in all these minerals. If you eat this plant, you're going to be getting 1,000 times the nutrition of what you would get from an organic plant grown on a farm. These wild plants are literally the superfood of the planet. And they're free. They don't cost anything. Matter of fact, they don't even need you. You need them.